Hey guys, it's me, Greg, from LeGrand Drain Cleaning and Pressure Washing, Gainesville, Florida. In today's video, we're going to do a couple of the really easy mods to this gutter vacuum, and I'll show you what I'm going to do. So give me a couple moments and I'll be right back. So the first couple mods I'm going to address is going to be no money at all. We're going to take off this clip, which is one screw. I'm going to take off the inlet, whatever you call it, port right there. Those are 4 little screws down there. That will take off, and then we'll cut that end off like I was telling you. That doesn't cost anything. And then down below here was that little metal thing, which is going to require me to drill out the rivet and put a new rivet in. So that's going to cost about a 30-cent rivet. So let me go get my tools and stuff, and we'll be back to show you how it's done. Hello again. For this job, you're going to need a ginormous drill bit. You're going to need a rivet tool. I'm probably going to use a bigger rivet. I'll show you why in a little bit. You're going to need your Phillips screwdriver, and you're going to need an electric drill with actually a small bit that fits the rivet that I'm going to use. I'm just kidding about the ginormous one. So what we're going to do is on that little fitting right about there, let me put this right, you can see this is going the wrong way, so we're going to drill out that rivet, push this that way, reconnect that chain properly, and this doesn't have a real big bite because they use a small rivet, so that's why I'm going to use a bigger rivet. So to start off, what I did was I carefully took my top of my back off where the motors are and laid it down, same with the basket, and then I just tilted that back. You may want to put a little rug or something under there so you don't scratch it up, but I don't have another rug, so I've got to be ultra careful. So we're going to take this off using the Phillips, we're going to drill that out, and then we're going to take off that thing. So I'll get to those two in a minute. Let me do these two and show you what it looks like. Okay, so the hole that was in there, when I drilled out the old rivet, I used a smaller 3/16 drill bit because it had the smaller rivet. But now that I'm putting a 3/16 rivet in there, I needed a 1/4 inch bit to drill that hole so that the 3/16 rivet would fit in there. So this piece goes on the bottom, then the chain, and then the rivet. And make sure you swapped out to the big hole on your gun, and hopefully I'll be able to do this one-handed, and you can watch the miracle of riveting right there on the as we get going. Look at there. Oh buddy, well, that's a tough rivet when you're left-handed and not used to doing this stuff. Okay, so that thing is on, and theoretically it should go like that. Guess. Let's see what happens here. Could be wrong, but yeah, see there? Now it holds it a little bit. And all I got to do is clip this over here, so when I want to pull it by the chain, I can pull it by the chain. All right, on to the next project. You can see I've already taken that off, and I think I set that down. Yeah, I set it down right here. So I've taken off this little handle. I saved it. They use this little bracket, which is nice, so I don't have to, there's no hole in there. Now all I got to do is the 4 screws here to take this off, and I'll then show you the mod I'm going to make to that. So hang on. I've now removed this in port. As you can see, it just has 4 little screws, which I threw inside so I wouldn't lose them. I was hoping these 2 screws would turn this, but there's not 4 holes. It would only just turn it facing up. Right now it faces down like that. Before I show you what I'm going to do to this, I just put the top back on to see if that little thing worked, and what do you know? It doesn't fall all the way back. Woo, that thing holds it. Now it's a small wire. I don't know how long that'll last. I'll probably come up with something better, but for right now it works. So what I want to do with this, since it's facing down like that, you're going to have to figure out which saw. I'm going to try a couple different. I'll tell you what I use after I do it. But there's a line right here, so I'm going to cut probably right here on this line up to this line, So that opens up that hole, you know, another 1/4 of an inch or so. I'm going to cut it all the way to here on both sides. So big L shape all the way around to this side. And once I get that piece out, this has a little lip inside here. So I'm going to cut that lip off. So when I'm done, even though that's kind of facing down, you know, I might cut past and go all the way over to this side. I'll show you how I wind up. Just tell me in the comments which way you think I should do it, and then I'll surprise you and show which way I'll do it. I'll be right back. Okay, welcome back to the progress here. So you see this is broke, but originally I wanted to cut this thing up so that's facing down. You'd have that big gap on the right, and I sawed off that lip, but it broke off. That's okay, because now, since we work on gutters, I just got me a piece of gutter over here, and I cut a piece off like that. So this will go inside like this. Let's see if I can see that from the other side. I'll drill 2 holes where those holes were. See those holes? I'll drill 2 holes like that. Make sure they're sitting all the way at the top. And I'll just bend that piece a little bit, kind of around it that way. Now I'll do a perfect shield instead of that cheap plastic shield. And you don't have to worry about cutting that piece off on this plastic here, because the hose, the way it connects in, is there's a little ridge here, and there's 2 squeezy things on your hose. So when you put it in there, it locks onto this thing. So you haven't destroyed this, and even if you had a slip, you'd have a bunch in there. So I just got to get a sandpaper, sand this stuff down a little bit, and I'll drill my 2 holes and put it in. But I don't have any sandpaper, so for this purpose I'll show it to you rough, and then I'll have to take it back out. Okay, with my professional metalworking tool, I took this little edge here and I flattened it down the best I could. And I took this piece and I held it over a 3-inch pipe and kind of rounded it, which I'm going to do a little bit more before I stick it in. But now this is ready to go up against there. I put the 2 holes in it. I held this in place. I clamped it in place softly and then drilled those 2 holes. So now this will go on the side. This will go on the outside. I'm going to bend this a little bit more, and then once I get it in, I'll bend it even more. Alrighty, all that perfect engineering. I got my aluminium screws, as my Outback friends would say, going through my aluminum guttering. Aluminum and aluminium. So that's on good. Didn't over tighten. And actually I don't need to get a washers because I got some here, but I'll probably pick up some washers for that side. So now I just got to carefully kind of bend that. And we'll mess around with that and get it bent. I might have to take it off and bend it again, but it's hard to screw that in. So I have to break out that fine metal working tool. But we'll get that bent, and then I'll put it in the bag and see how it fits. Back to our metalworking class. Now that I've got this piece in, I needed to put this down some and cut this to make kind of a little shelf. I don't want the bag to get cut on this, but I'm going to mess around and do some different, configuration, see how it works. But you can see it's a lot bigger hole now, and hopefully the wind will go this way. So when you put your bag in, it'll go to the side like that. So you need it enough for this lip. Now it may come a time that I might have to put like a whole piece of metal right here, because from what I understood, when it clogged up, it either hit that little plastic thing or all the pine needles would hit this, and that would give you problems sometimes if you're doing pine needles. So now you're deflecting them off. It is going this way, but you still have, if you're looking down here, it's going to hit the bag here. So I might have to modify it some, but it's way better than it was. It'll get the air going to the left. The other thing that I did on this basket, I cut one of these tubes out because that hole's right there. So this basket still holds this all open. It's way better than it was. I'll give it a couple trials. That is a washable bag. And I can't believe that my camera went goofy like that. But that's a washable bag there. So tell me in the comments what you think about it. And I'll tell you once I get a couple done how it's acting. But it's a bigger gap than it was before. And most of the guys who have these for vacuum gutters said that it worked pretty good, other than pine needles. So just remember, not every job is going to be a gutter vac job, but if you can get 50% or 75% of your jobs from on the ground, that's 100 times or whatever less times you got to go up a ladder, the safer you are and the better it is for the customer. Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching my videos. I really hope you enjoyed them. If you have a comment or a question, leave it in the comments section below. I'll be glad to answer it as soon as I can, or maybe one of my subs will. But remember, please hit that subscribe button that's going to pop up, and YouTube is going to put more videos for you to watch over here. So enjoy yourself, grab the popcorn, and just remember, we really appreciate you being part of our family and subscribing to our channel. All the support you give us has been wonderful. So have a great day, and we'll see you on the next video.